This just in from the Big Ten Network. Score another one for the Big Red. The Huskers won another game today, and the Big Ten Network here said it loud and clear. Now, this game had echoes of the past, a little taste of the present, and, of course, a vision for the future. It started at 1 o'clock on the button with the Board of Regents, continued at 5 with tons of media and the Big Ten Commissioner. His words were music to Husker Nation's ears. The Big Red has been accepted into the Big Ten, and he was happy.
It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm very proud of our conference. I'm very proud that Nebraska is now a member of our conference. I think that those of you who are from here will recognize the culture when you visit Big Ten campuses around the country. The things that are important to you are important to us. I'm equally convinced today as we stand here that Nebraska will be a great member of the Big Ten, not only on the playing fields, not only in the classroom, but because of the cultural fit and the geographic fit and the desire to be a member of the Big Ten Conference.
The Huskers will begin play in the new league in 2011, all 23 sports. So the Big 12 farewell tour is set to kick off this fall. Every game is taken on a little more significance. But what about the new beginnings in football? The legend, once again, walked into history today, and Tom Osborne sat down with the Board of Regents. There's always that pleasant demeanor that we have come to know to address such issues as stability. Why the Big Red left the Big 12.
As we read the tea leaves, as we listened to the conversation, as we realized that some of the schools that were urging us to stay had talked not just to one other conference, not just to 2, but to 3. And we're sometimes talking to those at the same time they were urging us to stay. This will not be a windfall. We hope to be made relatively whole, but there will be no automatic windfall for athletics. I feel that the footprint of the Big Ten and the footprint of the Big 12 is about the same in terms of travel. And probably the Big Ten will be a little bit more accessible if you think about traveling by air. We think that the Big Ten Network will help recruiting, because one thing parents always want to know is, will I be able to see my student athlete participate? And in this case, they will be able to see almost every game that they play. We're obviously not in the Sun Belt, so we would probably be having a comparison more of apples to apples in many of our sports. Primary loyalty has to be to, in athletics, student athletes, coaches, fans, and the people of Nebraska. And so that's what we have tried to do, is demonstrate that type of loyalty. One school leaving a conference does not break up a conference. 2 schools leaving a conference does not break up a conference. 6 schools leaving a conference breaks up a conference.
I wonder who T.O. was talking to there. So look out, Big Ten. Here comes the Big Red in more ways than one. It was win-win all the way around. Then there was Bo. Of course, he's put up his dukes with Sparty and the Big Ten before. Of course, first as a player at Ohio State, then as the interim head coach with the Huskers. Remember? Helped lead Corey Ross and the Big Red past Michigan State in the Alamo Bowl. Grabbed the mic then, and again tonight. What's it mean, Bo, to join the Big Ten?
Well, in the short term, it doesn't mean much, but it's going into a heck of a conference with a tremendous tradition, a lot of good football. Obviously, having played at Ohio State and growing up in Ohio, and it's Big Ten country, and obviously I have a lot of respect for the type of athletics and type of football that are played there in the Big Ten, and it'll be an honor to really to be a part of that conference, be a part of that tradition, and really take Nebraska into a new age. When the season's over this year, we'll finish out here in our last season here in the Big 12, and we got our hands full with that.
The Huskers had their hands full back in 2003, remember? Ran out against Penn State in the Cathedral. Jamal Lord led the club to the win. He's in. We're going to see a lot more of the Nittany Lions, and soon. So what do you think? Today was a good day, a memorable day, an historic day. Nebraska listened and learned, and in the end did what was best for Nebraska. The college football landscape is ever-changing, and the Huskers were not going to be left out in the cold. I'm sorry, Missouri. I'm sorry, Texas. It's not like the Huskers were waiting in the weeds. They saw the snakes in the grass, and they were determined not to get swallowed up. And today, for me, showed me why Nebraska is Nebraska. Bravo. The Royals got back to work at good old Johnny Rosenblatt, looking to make some more noise against the Sound. Did they ever? Kurt Mertens for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Big O just 4 hits, but the Royals shut out Nashville 5-0. Tonight, a good night to revel in the events of the day and take in a game. And finally, to our Fox 42 fans of the day, take me out to the ball game. Take me out. After what we've been through all this week, the rumor, innuendo, and then today, great night for some baseball. So all those fans at the ballpark beating the drums for Husker Nation, as well as fans everywhere, our Fox 42 fans of the day. We'll rat-tat-tat with some more news right after the break.